Barbados is not out of the woods just yet. Local forecasters are advising the country to be on alert. That's our top story in your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Thursday, September 27. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Barbados was spared the expected rains and high winds from the passage of Tropical Storm Kirk last night and throughout today. But Acting Director of the Barbados Meteorological Services, Claremont Williams, told Barbados Today, while the country was not impacted, there is still the likelihood of the country experiencing some showers tonight into Friday.
The tropical storm warning remains in effect, and this is at the 5 o'clock update. There's still some concern with respect to rain band or feeder band that is trailing the system. That band is not expected to, that band will probably start to affect the island within another hour or so. Now, once that band starts to affect the island, it would give us a better idea of the possible wind speeds that could be impacting the island. And based on that, we will then have a better idea of whether we need to keep the warning in place or whether we can terminate it at that point in time.
Late this evening, there was a noticeable change in sea conditions. Here you can see increased activity in the careenage while there were overcast skies. Tropical Storm Kirk was centered near 14.2 degrees north, 60.2 degrees west, or about 85 miles northwest of Barbados. Maximum sustained winds remain near 50 miles per hour. Meanwhile, the Emergency Operations Center at the Department of Disaster Management is still up and running. Since 5 o'clock this morning, a full team was on hand. Director of the DEM, Kerry Hines, assures Barbadians they are ready to lend any assistance if the need arises.
Just to note that the various operatives, they are manning their stations and of course ready to respond.
The country's business owners are giving disaster authorities high marks for their handling of Tropical Storm Kirk. It was business as usual in the nation's capital after Acting Prime Minister and Attorney General Dale Marshall declared there would be no national shutdown. Business owners told Barbados Today they were satisfied that the country was back to normal.
I thought they informed the public pretty good, and business owners and whatnot, in terms of, whether it's going to be a national shutdown or whatnot. I did think this morning they could have maybe announced it a little earlier because it came a little after 6. And obviously some of our staff that live in, far away or whatever, they need to catch the buses earlier down. But we were still able to open up on time. And I think the Met Office, and I was listening to news from the time I got about 5 o'clock, and all yesterday, the briefings and things, I think we're spot on in terms of giving everybody a heads up.
It's a work in progress, and the science of meteorology is inaccurate at best. I think we're all aware that we knew the storm was there. The size of the storm was worrisome, and whether it was going to hit Barbados at 8 in the morning or 10 in the morning or midday was unsure, but we did know that there was an issue to be dealt with. And it's always a very sensitive one, especially when you're trying to shut down the country and restart it, because the more lead time we have, I think it augurs better for everybody. The bus driver who wants to take people home needs the opportunity to get to the supermarket or the hardware store to get things so that his home could be secure and safe as well, not just the commuters who are on his bus. So one has to expect that those with critical services and providing goods, especially for a storm, need the opportunity to ramp down their businesses much later. We're cognizant, of course, that employers must make personal arrangements for their employees to get them home in a safe time.
Meanwhile, there's a caution to residents and visitors to stay away from the beach. Presently, a high surf advisory remains in effect. But today, our news team visited the popular Brandon's Beach location, where approximately 24 people could be seen either relaxing on the sand or swimming. Veteran lifeguard Michael Jiggles was keeping a close eye on the sea bathers and spoke to Barbados Today.
We have a storm coming, and we have tropical conditions, and it's going to get worse. So we just want people to adhere to the flags and adhere to the lifeguard, because when we got to go out there and risk our life to save someone, it's not only putting us in a strain, right? Sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's physically, but we just want people to know that we want them to be safe. And our job is to make sure to prevent anything from happening. Locals feel safe, tourists like whoever to feel safe.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
A Grenadian family is launching a legal battle before the Caribbean Court of Justice against Barbados. The 5-member Gilbert family, who visited her in 2016, claimed they were bullied and humiliated over a false allegation that they stole a mobile phone belonging to a store owner in Bridgetown. According to their attorney, Ruggles Ferguson, the family, who was detained by police, claimed that they were humiliated after being strip searched and insulted by officers. Ferguson explained that the application before the Trinidad-based regional court is for special leave to file the matter in the CCJ.
This case involves an original jurisdiction case specifically related to freedom of movement of our people under CSME, the right to freedom of movement.
Further afield, fighting to salvage his nomination to the U.S. Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh angrily and tearfully denied today that he sexually assaulted a university professor 36 years ago as he appeared before the U.S. Senate.
The day after the allegation came up, I wanted to be here that day. Instead, 10 days passed where all this nonsense is coming out. You know, that I'm in gangs, I'm on boats in Rhode Island, I'm in Colorado, you know, I'm cited all over the place. And these things are printed and run breathlessly by cable news. You know, I wanted a hearing the next day. It's an outrage that I was not allowed to come and immediately defend my name and say, I didn't do this, and give you all this evidence. I'm not even in D.C. on the weekends in the summer of 1982. This happened on a weekday? Well, when I'm not at a Blair High School for a summer league game? I'm not at Tobin's house working out? I'm not at a movie with Suzanne? You know, I wanted to be here right away.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.